All right, I talked enough stuff to y'all for a lot of people. I would say I'm not trying to offend anybody. I promise I'm not. But I know I can't help it anyway. But I gotta push your ego to get to your soul. You know, it's just what I do. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to give y'all something. All right. Now, Avatar 2, even in Avatar, you will see them constantly hooking up to a soul tree. All right. Now, what this is telling you is we're always connected. Now, I want you to just stay with me here with this whole theme of this day. We've been talking about the colostrum, the spine, the chimney, all this kind of stuff, right? So even when we talk about, you know, in the essence of Purana, even when we talking about the Swadhisthana, or even the Muladhara, which is the root chakra, which is the essence of sulfur, right? Or even when you go into the 1,000-petal lotus, which is just basically the crown chakra. So when you talk about bringing lead to gold, this can be an aspect of either breathing, or this can be an aspect of alchemizing a thought. Or this can be an aspect of bringing something into your realm of reality. Now, what I'm talking about is this right here. If, like, for me, for instance, let's take that movie. Let's stay in the mind of this Avatar 2, right? Because the way of the waters, the primordial memory of the waters, right? The mother, the mitochondria, right? Now, my mother transitioned 2004. Now, I went through a whole depression, all type of stuff. Man, these days will come around. I'll be missing my mama. Then my grandmother transitioned. My father transitioned. My brother transitioned. I lost a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I became, you know, I had a lot of bitterness. I did. So because I didn't know how to remember. So I was still holding on to not being able to really physically interact with them. So, like, because I've done, like, I ain't going to get too deep. That's why I'm being mindful of what comes out of my mouth, because I don't want to taint people's imagination, because that's already been done. Like, it's a lot of that's going to happen to a lot of us, because now that's why our intellect struggles to pull from our genius, because our intellect is so entangled with our imagination, but our imagination is so clouded by somebody else's pictures, somebody else's power of fiction, right? So I'm going to give you how you can tap into this power when it's real. But you got to get out of your emotion, or you got to allow your emotions to emote. Your emotions is energy in motion. So just like the soul tree, your spine is that. Your neural cortex, your cerebral cortex, your neocortex. All right, hippocampus, both sides, left and the right. You calibrating things. Your left and your right brain, right? Sun and moon, Solomon's temple, soul of a man. Okay? So that means you are memory. You are all aspects of memory. Your mama was memory. Your daddy was memory. Everything is memory. So this is how you remember. And this is why everything, you don't really know anything. We actually, what we think we know is we realize. So you don't really come up with nothing. You realize things. Numbers was realized. Astrology was realized. God was realized. You understand what I'm saying? The devil was realized. Demons were realized. Anything in this reality that came from a thought that was called thought, Tahuti, thought, Mercury, energy of he who rises. Sulfur, mercury, salt, sugar. You understand? These are the chemicals. These are the ones that allow energy to rise. So I'm just giving you the basis of some science. So now let's go into the memory aspect. If you want to remember somebody like my mama, right? We can tap into this memory, this soul tree. Go quantum with me. All right? Think about anybody that you miss around this time of the year. This is for people who lost somebody, all right? Somebody who's sitting up and I wish my people were still here. I know how that feeling is. So I'm giving you a tool that I've used, and that actually keeps me present with them every day, okay? Because when people you don't lose people, they're always with you. So I'm going to show you how you can remember them, and I always bring them back into you if you drop into your heart and get out of your head, okay? Now, watch this. Think about somebody that's transitioned, all right? Think about a time, because this time of the year is going to be a very significant memory in your mind based off this time of the year around these people. So if you think about right now, your mind is going to be primed to this time of year, because this essence of here. The physical part of this is like a repeat, but now it's repeated without them here, so it feels like a void. You get what I'm saying? But that void can be filled through the aspects of what we call space and time. And this is why Bobby Hemmings say space and time is just an illusion that white man created. Because if you would think about it, you still exist. They still exist there in your heart, in your mind. Close your eyes. Think about them. Go back. Smile. Remember them. Whoever it is, your mother, father, brother, sister, auntie, friend, lover, smile. Feel that emotion. If you start to cry, let yourself cry. Let the emotion emote. You might realize you haven't grieved enough. Now you take that feeling and you hold on to it. They're always with you. Now you got to be able to come back and say, I am still here and I am still now. See, that's why on the movie, you see the girl start shaking because we don't want to come back from that reality. Even when his son died and he went back into a nostalgic memory of him as a child and they was shooting a bow and arrow and then he flipped into an older adult, then it went back into a child again. We can fade in and out of timelines. Don't let this time of the year keep you entrapped in some type of cycle or thinking that they not here with you physically, so therefore you have to suffer mentally and spiritually. Your mental and your spiritual power is what exudes on this physical plane of existence. That's the power of your Christos. That's the power of the Christ within you. Are you governing that accordingly? That is the question. Namaste. Happy new moon, by the way.